Hey guys, and welcome to the Youth Edition Hall of Fame nomination episode where we are going to announce the nominees for the four-person Hall of Fame. So what I'm going to need from you guys is to vote for your favorite player who you think should make the Hall of Fame, and the top four vote getters will be inducted later on this year. So we're going to go through some of the players that are on there. I'll drop a vote up on the corner there in the eye so you guys can vote there as well. Also, if you have any write-in nominees that you guys want to vote for, drop it down in the comments and we'll add those to the tally as well. Also, any likes on any of the comments will also be counted as a vote. So make sure you guys are getting in those votes and we'll see who makes the Hall of Fame. First, we have our goalkeeper. It's very obvious this should be a no-doubter. Austin Awazi came in our very first scout report and was an absolute stud. We don't have any statistics on clean sheets. I just didn't keep track of them through the year. We'll probably do that in the future though. But he comes in and was the solid back for our defense. He bailed us out a ton. He helped us bring the Champions League trophy home to Morecambe FC. I don't know if we could have done it without him. Our defense leaked a lot, but he was always there at the back to pick us up. Another Nigerian, also from our first scout report, was Darlington Adebola, and although he doesn't have the stats, only 5 goals and 12 assists, he was a central defensive midfielder, came in at 16, really wanted to play the midfield, but we realized quickly that we needed some help at the back defensively. We went to a 4-man line in the middle of our first season, and he really shored that up. So not a player that did a lot statistically, but he did a lot to help the team. He sacrificed himself to go and play that center back role, and he solidified himself and basically played every single game there. After that middle of the season, I don't think he ever went back to the midfield. He really did a good job. He got his training in defensively, kept the balls out of the net, and really helped out his Nigerian partner in Austin Awazi. And now we'll go to one of the other obvious ones. It has to be Stefan Sark. He comes in late in the first season, doesn't play a whole lot. He got 12 matches in, 1 goal and 3 assists, but after that he really took off. He led our team with 79 goals and 56 assists. This guy did it all. He did the scoring. He got the ball off to other players. Even when he wasn't scoring, he was putting in assists. He helped us in the Champions League and in the Europa League. His best season being season number 3 with 16, but he was all right around there. You know, his 4th season scored 14, 5th season scored 13, and his 6th season with 10. So always double digits, always doing a great job for us, really shoring up that offense. Comes from Croatia, comes in late in the first season, and he did the job as well. So Stefan Sark is going to be one of our nominees for the Hall of Fame. And another player from the first season as well is Al Daharni. I think he came in the second scout report from Saudi Arabia, gets 17 appearances in his first season, only scores the 1 goal and the 1 assist, but, you know, he really did a great job in Champions League especially. I think he led our team with 5 goals in Champions League. Didn't do much, a whole lot the last season in the Premier League, but that's mainly because he was playing mostly Champions League, but always was right around that 5 and 6, 7 and 8 type of goal and assist ratio. Ended up with 35 goals, but 15 assists. He flexed between the right wing and then moved into the midfield, and was just always a really good flexible player for us. Always did a great job here with Morecambe FC. And the final player that we'll nominate for our first season is none other than Lucas Park. And if you guys joined the series late, you probably don't know him. He only scored 1 goal in the 8th and 7th season and the 6th season. 1 goal, but he finished his career with 58 goals and 49 assists. I mean, he is the reason we got to the Champions League. He is the reason we got to the Premier League. He helped us get all the way there. He built the team. He was basically all our offense in the first few seasons. The first season, he had 13 goals and 9 assists in League 2. He had 13 and 9 the second season, 12 and 11 the third, and 12 and 13 in the fourth. And once we got to the Premier League, he was always helping the strikers. on the training pitch, helping them build and grow, teaching them what he could do, because he had the mental ability, not great physicals, only went to a 65 overall, but definitely has to be in consideration for the Hall of Fame. He was second on the scoring list for the team. And a player from our second season is Billy Hughes. He's the native player from England. Didn't do a whole lot in the first and second season. I think he came in late in the second season, or he might have gotten hurt. He did end up tearing an ACL and missed about 7 months in one of the seasons, so that kind of hurt him. But even with that injury, he was still able to put in 42 and 16. 42 goals, 16 assists for a player that only had four maybe seasons. And even that last season doesn't even really count because he didn't play a whole lot of Premier League in the final season. He was obviously in the Champions League squad, so he really didn't get a whole lot of appearances. So that's a pretty impressive number for a player that really didn't make too many appearances and really was still able to score a lot. So definitely in consideration for the Hall of Fame. And our next player is going to be Han Young-mun. The South Korean joined us in the third season, late in the third season, if I remember correct, or in the third season, late in it, came in. He did a job. He was really a ton of our offense the last couple of seasons. He tore it up. He came in the final season with 11 goals, 9 assists, and that's impressive because as most of the other players didn't play a lot in the Premier League that final season. Didn't have a ton of his appearances, but even in the years before that, 12 and 10, 6 and 10, and then he kind of rolled from there. Looking back at some of the stats there, but ends up with 41 goals, 38 assists, and really was a big part of our Champions League squad. Really did a lot to get the offense rolling there, always coming in through the midfield, allowing the next player that we're going to talk about laid off to him as he put it in for the goal. And that next player is going to be Florian Dupont, the Belgian. Comes in the fifth season, and that's a little misleading because he does come in the fifth season, but he does come in with only about 6 or 7 games left. Didn't really get a whole lot of play in there, but still was able to put in 8 and 5, and he was definitely one for the future. He ends his career with 40 goals and 34 assists. He had 13 and 13 in his first full season with the team. And again, another player from that Champions League squad. Didn't get a whole lot of play in the Premier League, but still finishes with 10 goals and 4 assists. And guys, that will do it for our Hall of Fame nominations. If you guys do have a vote, make sure to drop it down in the eye and vote there. Also, if you have any write-ins, make sure to put your votes in on the comments, and any likes will also count as a vote. So guys, get voting, and we will see who will join the very first Youth Edition Hall of Fame.